Hi everyone, I hope you're well. This is going to be an energy check-in on Camilla. You can catch up on the other energy check-in for the royals or any of the intuitive reads for different people that just happen to come into I feel that I need to read on or provide guidance on that you might be interested in, and they don't expire. I think I'll be doing a crime one that I've been wanting to do. It just takes energy. When I'm doing energy healing clients, that's my main priority. Um, Also, I'd appreciate if you give this a like. If you like it, subscribe, share, leave an emoji. Even if you don't want to leave a comment, just put any emoji. I think one of the reasons is we know that certain accounts, if you read on certain things, can get shadow BANNED, and I definitely have read on those sort of crime things or cases, and so that has taken a big impact on my account. And you'll be able to see those videos, but it has that is a real thing that happens. So I'd appreciate if you do like, and if you don't, that's fine. You can find what you do like on another channel, but if you do, that's why I mention it. Just a like or an emoji or both or a share. And at the end of the day, it's free content coming from me, from my time, and it's only a little thank you. All right. And especially when it's your readings or anything that makes sense to stop even rumors and negative energy towards people that we're reading on. It's always good as well. But it helps it get out to people once it's with the many views. I've noticed how comments really help. So if you just leave an emoji, that helps. And that's only if you wish to, of course. So in this reading, if you caught the latest reading, which was Prince William, unless I suddenly do an emergency reading for some reason, in that you would have seen I read on his energy and we can see what's coming up. I do think I just want to add Prince Charles really needs to, there's something I want to say about Harry as well, but I might do a separate reading. Unless I find time at the end of this, there's something that I really want to say about Harry and his continuous appeal for bodyguards. And I'm not against Harry. I understand why people act in certain ways, and it's not that it's always forgiven or should be forgiven. But I'm not sure if this is, it's just not the right timing either. And let me get into it at the end because I've got a lot to say on it. And I might pull some cards, but I might leave it to the next energy check-in with him. So with Camilla, I feel like, you know, she's a person that you will only understand her energy once you're in her energy. And for me, I think if I tapped in, if she had a couple of interviews or something and I watched them, I could probably tap into her energy, but I haven't really done so. I've looked at a picture and I saw them at the coronation. I think she's actually quite, I feel like she does have a sensitive side to her. I think she might have quite a lot in her latter houses of 10, 11 and 12, and obviously the first house is very important. I'm talking about astrology here. I know that she's a Cancer, so you know that's the water element, and I do think underneath it she has she's quite sensitive, and I think that she's someone that works well in the environment that she feels nurtured in. And that I don't think is like busy environments. I feel like it's her own personal environments, and I don't necessarily mean that it has to be her home, but it's more like maybe the garden or something. What's interesting is I also pick up on a lot of fire with her, fire energy, and that with the waters, where I feel like if she wants something, she has ambition to go for it. I think there's something also about wanting, about her not being selfish, but self-focused and pride there. And when we're out of balance with our chakras, that can kind of get out of balance. And that's why it's good to do energy healing and clearing to clear that shadow aspect. So I do think that she's got the fire element in her. I wouldn't be surprised if a little bit of air, but I think earth is the least in her charts, which is interesting. And if I were to pinpoint an earth sign that she could be in, I was going to say Capricorn, but as I'm trying to tap into her now, I feel with the Cancer, her inner self, it could even be the feminine area of Virgo, where maybe she's, because of the media, she's maybe never felt that divine feminine that we've seen in Diana. And you can see how their charts are going to be very different. It's interesting. I'm wondering if I should do a chart discussion on the differences of what I can pick up between her and Diana, because you can feel this heart-centered, out there approach. But I do think she is actually quite. She can be quite one of those people that takes things sensitively, but at the same time, that fire element then brings her sort of forward. Yeah, I'm not going to turn it into astrology. Let's pull some cards. So this was if you saw it, I should take that card out. This was on the deck, or as I split the deck at the beginning. I don't know what I was doing, to be honest with you. But I'd seen it and I was wondering, and it's back here. I'm just making sure nothing's fallen. Okay. These are very strong cards. It's interesting I said about the element of Virgo, but I do know that she does have definitely lack of earth in her chart. Doesn't mean that it's bad. Now what's interesting, if you remember these cards in the William read, I did not want to go into too much detail, and they've come out exactly the same. I'm just going to cover that. There's some things that I'm not going to say in this read. I don't want to emphasize it. But there's definitely a need for Charles to rest up and not stress. And I said this in his reading. I mean, I think the communication around his health treatment doesn't tell us at what level it's at, okay? I think he definitely needs to not be stressed with anything, and that could mean also Harry not causing more stress. I mean, as taxpayers, we shouldn't have to pay for legal battles, and the Foreign Affairs shouldn't, and then taxpayers, because someone hardly comes to the country and chose to leave the country. When singers, I've already dived into his thing, but these cards I don't really like, and I didn't want to read on it when I got them in Williams. If you have not, it's exactly the same cards here apart from the Six of Cups. He definitely needs to rest, okay? There's an uneasy discussion about his health and the ending of obviously carrying on with the monarch. I'm not going to say anything else about that. It's just like when he needs to pass it on to Prince William. and the need for him to really make that choice in order to nurture himself and bring balance into his situation. I think he's already pulled back from duties, but at the same time, we don't know. And I did say in his last reading, and why I'm going into King Charles is because I asked a question, is her energy with King Charles around his health and around the diagnosis, and then what they actually know, because the diagnosis we know is not the only thing, and I'm waiting to know what area of cancer it is. I told you, is I mentioned in my readings with him, if you've not checked it, what the cause of that is. And as soon as I know the area, because honestly, it's not, I don't think it's been said that it's prostate cancer. I know he was going in for prostate surgery or treatment, but I don't know if it was announced. If it was announced, drop it in the comments, but there's something else as well. There needs to be a harmonic balance coming in and patience around his recovery time and the medical treatment. Anything else I'm not going to dive into. Yeah, and there's, you know, it's not easy. It's not easy. I also feel like there's an absolute ending here, you know, in terms of Harry's behavior with his father. I am getting that there's something around Charles that he's, I don't know if he's further down the line, if he's going to start to not refuse to eat, but not eat as much. I'm trying, I don't want to say what I want to, you know, just take the message in, I try to do it in light form. And that is going to be quite heartbreaking to see. I mean, when people go through treatment, we know that it's very heartbreaking. There is forward movement here. Okay. And there is a holding on. There is a holding on here to their marriage, the partnership, but then a new chapter comes in. And I just want to shuffle properly to make sure that I've got the cards shuffled. There is, you know, also a time of just standing back, like I said, but an epiphany. And it's interesting because her energy is not strong in this read. I keep referring back to everyone else's energy apart from hers. And I said to you, her energy is very interesting. It's extremely interesting because I just keep getting diverted to the stronger energies. Now here she is as well. So here she is, and she's actually knowing she's needing to take a step back. Or she is at the moment, because she's trying to think things through. And there's something where she needs to find her own light on something. So I'm just going to take these two back. Yeah, absolutely. She, you know, there's something where she's trying to really follow her inner guide and light, and also listening to her intuition. And I said at the beginning, I think she's quite sensitive, and her houses are in intuitive houses. She's quite in tune. I think I said that at the beginning. Now, if you know one of the readings I did, I think in King Charles, she'd come up as the knight. And I said I would have liked to have seen her as a queen. And here we go. Here is her energies where I say she's got that water element, and then I think she's got a strong fire element. Her focus absolutely is family life right now, and a family is obviously King Charles and everything that comes in it. Whatever it's her family, her home, her Ten of Cups is her focus. That's where all her emotion is going into. And she feels quite strong about this, and she feels quite, this is the boundary, which is interesting. There's a page, there's the Knight. I'm putting that back because it came up in Williams and Reed, so I don't know why the cards are coming up very similar, but I'm going to just take whatever keeps coming out now. And we're back to the Two of Cups that I put in. Her focus is on her marriage, okay? I do think she's also doing some research, all right? She's doing some research, and when she gains and obtains that research, she feels quite passionate about the next steps that need to happen. At the same time, her overthinking, over-analyzing, her fear and overwhelm sometimes can cloud her her vision, especially when it comes to what they're trying to decide. Firstly, about her inner strength in this situation. I feel like sometimes she feels like she's wavering, but she's got to continue being in this energy. She realizes that and she wants that, but I feel like she wavers. And this energy, I feel, is like when she's not in the good day, she can be quite blunt and emotionally not as stable. So for example, do you know how with kids they can be a bit immature? So if they're having a bad day, they might just say stupid stuff or moan. And I think she can be quite guarded in her emotions or what she says back. But when she does say it back, it's not she's saying it back from a queen or a king's perspective where it's very harsh. You can feel that behind it. There's an emotion that's triggered that. And there's still a passion to thrive forward on her focus. Some days she does feel overwhelmed. And to be honest with you, I won't be surprised if she tries, if she has something to help her just relax. You know, it could be a glass of wine or something like that. Disclaimer, this is for entertainment purposes only. I think there's also a lot of stress that she feels. There is a bit of resentment and fear around something. I'm not sure what it is. I'm not sure if it's like, I'm going to be left in this position. But then, or is it that she needs to step down? There's something around, you know, she knows that there needs to be clear communication and right communication. I think they're discussing it. This is what's happening at the moment around whenever they're going to be handing over the monarch to William, and also her role in that. There is a heavy energy here. And I don't know how far, but I feel like this is going a bit further into the future, although I'm trying to continue on her current energy. Yeah, this is about Five of Cups, loss, and then looking upon the past. There's the King of Swords, right? And I think this is going to be the advisor that helps ease the burden in terms of press communication and stuff like that. I think, you know, with the Five of Cups is sometimes like, woe is me. But, you know, this King of Swords and the medical team, easing any burden. And I feel like this is the burden that Charles might feel more than her. And it's interesting I say that, and as I say that, I could see the King of Cups. Where is he? I saw him there, Charles. Whereas I was saying, I think it's the burden that he might feel. I've seen the Star card, the healing card, and I've also seen the Tower. The Knight of Cups and the Sun card, and the Eight of Swords, and the Eight of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords, and the Justice in balance. Okay, again, very mixed energies, as you can see. It would normally be when we're in this situation. Some days are good, you know, some days there's absolute hope and things are going in the right direction. And there's ultimate love and connection there. And some days she just feels like really hopeless in her situation, in this situation, her position in this situation. And I mentioned in the last read, I wonder if she's getting in touch with something like zoning out and the stars and astrology, or faith or something. There's something that she's getting, something that helps her zone out that's quite creative. I do think that there's going to be karmic balances coming in, and there's going to be more communication coming out. Regardless though, I think she's realizing that she needs to have a direct hand in communication. Like, maybe they're happy to take it forward, but she's realizing that if Charles is not going to be able to, she needs to, because she wants the right communication to come out on that. Especially when it comes to like transformative things, and next chapters and stuff like that. She could have air sign in her chart where she is able to like overanalyze. I don't think it's Libra, but there's a Libra energy here in this reading. There's also Leo, and we've had the other elements. We've had her element of Cancer, we've had Virgo, we've got Sagittarius, and the other signs as well. I just look at them as majors, but we've got all the elements. Pisces, Scorpio, Gemini, and of course, like I said, all the elements. So I think I'm going to leave that one there, and then we'll do another check-in on her. I may as well, while I'm here, say about Harry. So he's lost that case, but what I understand is the case of having secured bodyguards for him when he goes to the UK. I think it's like having them all the way, just his own team, and he's lost that case. But the case has come out that case by case will be reviewed. And I think that's fair because he's hardly in the UK. I mean, he raised this before King Charles's thing. So we're not talking about because he's going to be there every month or something. You've left the country, and just like, let's say, pop stars, they have their own team of bodyguards that they pay for. And so what makes you any different right now? Again, it's that dipping the toe in to take what I can take and what benefits me. And maybe there's a genuine security, an OCD level because of Princess Diana. We have to appreciate that. But right now, why should taxpayers and foreign affairs continue to pay for your battles on this that you're appealing, and probably not at the best time? Okay. And it said that it will be reviewed case by case. Given that your father's not well and you need to come back, I would say that you're probably going to get it on each time that you need to visit for your father. And the last time, what I understand, he wasn't there long and he flew out. So it's not very, he's not staying for days. So it just baffles me a little bit. Like, what is he again, I said there's like there's this veil that's just not making sense. But I do think he's starting to have a bit of, and by the way, with the case, if he does it, you know, I wonder if at the end they're going to make him pay for the case. It's interesting, I'm losing my voice right now. So I wonder what that's about. It might come to me a bit later, an epiphany. There's something about it. But what was I going to say? Sorry. Very silly to appeal this. I mean, if you're saying that you're coming back to the UK for a few months or something, that's fine. But get your own bodyguards, you know. Pay for your own bodyguards. You can't just be out of a country wanting to leave a country, wanting to leave the monarch, and still want the investment. I just don't understand. Well, then again, if you're not really paying out your pocket for anything, or much, why not? But on this stage, he could be billed for the court fees, I believe. Anyway, this is for entertainment purposes only. And my voice has come back. So there's something to do with that. There's a blockage, I'm getting, of truth. So it'll be interesting to see what the media says on this. Yeah, there's something around me just losing my voice as I was talking that I'm channeling, but I'm going to have to leave it there for now. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this read, and I will see you in the next one, everyone. Take care and bye for now.